During the communism in Serbia and the region, religion was often suppressed. The public expressions of faith were limited, leading many to practice religion privately. Today, Serbian youth has different stances on how they perceive the religion. To many, it's more about culture and traditions, while others are more devout. But according to a recent survey conducted by Ipsos global research company, the Generation Z has more traditional relationship with religion than previous generations. Katarina Petrovic reports from Belgrade.
Serbia's youth are boldly redefining faith, finding solace in spirituality free from nationalist influences. It's a far cry from older generations who defiantly practiced religion privately in response to state suppression during communism.
Komunistički period je sigurno ostavio duboke I ozbiljne posljedice u razvoju čitavog našeg društva, ali samim tim I svih nas kao pojedinaca, kao članova tog društva. Osloboditi se tih obrazaca, tih vizija stvarnosti, tih svetonazora, jednostavno nije jednostavna stvar.
After communism fell, religious expression and nationalism resurged, especially during the Yugoslav wars. The church became a significant source of comfort and identity.
Mi kao ljudi imamo tu potrebu I tu, kao što imamo fizičku glad, imamo I duhovnu glad. Nije možda očigledno I ne osjećamo to svakodnevno, ali to stoji u nama.
Serbian youth today have diverse views on religion. Some are devout, while others are secular or indifferent. Some focus on personal spirituality, while others feel more connected when surrounded with fellow worshippers. For some, religion serves as a cultural marker as they blend Orthodox traditions with contemporary life. Recent research suggests that many young Serbians in their 20s are maintaining a traditional approach to religion. I was impressed by the maturity and dedication to faith displayed by those I met. A PhD student in neuroscience in Dublin, Miller splits his time between Ireland and his research with a Belgrade tech firm. He focuses on applying machine learning to decode EEG brain signals and probe mental workload. He has managed to reconcile his internal conflicting perspectives of science and religion, seeing them as complementary to exploring different aspects of the human experience.
Izučavajući prirodu, čovjek može da nasluti, da kažem, I da lakše poveruje u Boga kao u tvorca, kao u inteligentnog tvorca koji je deo sebe utkao u te prirodne zakonitosti.
Darko, a deacon and religious teacher, has been an educator for decades. At a Belgrade gymnasium, he encourages students to embrace life with open hearts and minds, away from the surrounding mainstream.
Današnje generacije nisu u prilici, kako se to kolokvijalno kaže, da se vraćaju tradiciji. Ovdje se zapravo radi na potpuno drugom, veoma važnom procesu koji je vrlo često nevidljiv. A to je da ti mladi ljudi pronalaze u iskustvu naše nacionalne kulture, ali ne samo naše nacionalne, nego kulture, civilizacije koje pripadaju najbolje za sebe. I te najbolje plodove svoje kulture oni usvajaju. Ti plodovi oni su ti koji ih menjaju, koji ih oblikuju u jedan potpuno novi naraštaj.
In 2021, Biljana, a student of Serbian language and literature from a non-religious background, sought answers to her anxiety after time spent in therapy. She joined the Prizren Summer Spiritual School, led by 3 Belgrade teachers.
Nakon korone sam upala u jednu krizu psihološku gdje sam imala malo ozbiljniju anksioznost I tu sam počela intenzivnije da tragam zašto se to dešava. U stvari sam bila duboko besna, ali nisam ja bila besna na Boga, nego sam ja bila besna na sebe.
Over the course of 7 days, Biljana found solace in the religious setting. Since then, her anxiety has been a thing of the past.
Znači, ja sam bila ekstremno radosna. Zapravo sam tek poslije shvatila da sam tu u stvari doživjela jedno duboko pokajanje I prvi put sam osjetila tu intenzivnu blagodat Svetog Duha.
Unlike the communist era and its aftermath, when churches were often empty, it has taken time for communities to relearn attending church and reform around it.
U vremenu u kojem sam ja odrastao, društvo u kome sam stasavao je zapravo predstavljan veliki oblak iluzije. To je potrebno vreme i potrebno ne mali trud da bi se napravi iskorak iz jednog doživljaja stvarnosti u neki potpuno novi. Tu perspektivu nije moguće intelektualno razumeti tako što ti neko kaže pa ti usvojiš to kao neki obrazac.
I mislim da svako ko se iskreno i onako za svakog posebnim okolnostima sretne sa tim duhom da to mora i da ga promeni. Jer prosto je ta čežnja u nama utisnuta.
Samo što je problem što u savremenom svijetu čovjek nema tu pažnju i nema to strpljenje da uopšte uđe u tu realnost. I ja sam mnogo puta pre toga bila na liturgiji, prečešćivala se, ali ja nisam imala taj kontinuitet toga i ja se zapravo nisam otvorila dovoljno da bih uopšte videla osjetila šta se tu dešava.
Today, discussions often focus on Serbian youth who are seen as disconnected, self-centered, and directionless. However, amidst these perceptions, positive currents exist among young people. They bring about a new vitality by merging past wisdom with contemporary realities, shaping a promising future. Katarina Petrović, Across the Balkans, Belgrade.
To understand more this very complex topic, joining me now from Sarajevo is Dino Abazovic. He's a sociologist focusing on the role of organized religion in conflict and post-conflict societies. And from Podgorica, we have Petar Đukanović. He's a program director at the Center for Civic Education. A very warm welcome to Across the Balkans. Mr. Abazovic, we have seen in that story from Belgrade how Generation Z has a more traditional approach towards religion than the previous generation. Are we seeing similar trends across the region, and what do you think is the case for this?
Yes, based on our final research results from European Value Study collected a couple of years ago and then analyzed in comparative perspective, including the countries of Western Balkans, Generation Z is having a tendency to display more religiosity than it will be the case with some other compared generations, in particularly towards Generation X. Why? Simply because we're noticing two trends. First one in sociology we called that they are not in a problem what of religion, but how of religion. And that is something that is very much displayed in their public appearance. And secondly, they have a stronger need to aggregate or associate within the religious communities, having in mind that institutionalized approach is something that they find it to be the most trustiest institutions in the country compared to some other state or social institutions.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Đukanović, what is the situation in Montenegro? Are we seeing a different approach towards religion by younger generations there? And if so, what is driving this change?
According to some researchers, but I have to stress out at the beginning that we don't have so many researchers about religiosity and youth in Montenegro. There are some actually few researches that we can reflect on in the previous period, and they are mostly actually initiated by the NGOs who are interested in the overall researches of the overall status of youth in the Montenegrin society and their values and beliefs. Among these NGOs is also Center for Civic Education, the organization I'm representing today, but also some academic researchers that say that there is a rising trend of youth people who actually identify themselves as a part of certain religions in Montenegro, and also the researchers say that they are identificate themselves as a part of the religions, but also when it comes to the practicing the religion, there is a difference, because young people mostly do not actually attend the religious events, except in the case of the most important religious dates or holidays or things like that. Actually, there is a discrepancy because between this, that a lot of young people actually identify themselves as a part of a certain religion, but when it comes to the practicing these religions, young people are not among those who are practicing often the religious events or manifestations. Mm-hmm. So it seems like as I said, we don't have so many researchers that can actually tell us what is going on when it comes to the religiosity of young people. But from the everyday experience, we can say that there is a rising trend that young people are tending to be more religious than before.
Right. We did try to find some official data, and I do agree not many is out there, interestingly, because the religion is so important for the Balkans in general. Mr. Abazovic, what social processes are influencing the way young people perceive religion today?
There is one very common wisdom, and I tend to agree that in particularly in this post-socialist, not post-communist, rather post-socialist transition, we witnessed the collapsing ethnical and religious identities one into each other. And upbringing the youths in such a mixture and mystique between these two identities, which are, of course, collective and highly politicized, as you know, in all countries of former Yugoslavia and wider, in particularly in the Eastern or Central and Eastern Europe, you can see that these nexus between religious identities and ethnical / national identities are something that individuals cannot bear very easily with. Though religious identities are, so to say, easier to be understood, at least in a sense of a difference. So in that respect, one might see that it is quite easier to say what you are not, rather to affirm what you are. However, over the time, things are changing, and in particularly this trend among the youngsters, and we usually speak about that as a model of believing and belonging, to the difference of different generations who, for example, tend to believe but not to belong, and not to mentioning also those who are belonging but not believing, is something that is quite interesting to research in terms of overall dynamics. However, this increasement of religiosity among the Generation Z is not so unison, and there is also ambivalence. When we do this very concrete research based on European value survey and European value study, as I said, as a comparative throughout the old countries, Bosnia and Herzegovina tend to be the country in terms of self-identification at the top of the European level. But when you see the individual elements, you might find out that there are also a significant number of youngsters within the particularly Generation Z who do not declare their religious identity. And also there are those, when asked about spirituality of life, for example, they said that they are not really sure what to think about. So it is obviously the trend which we need to follow to a certain extent. But to complete with or to conclude, the major factor influencing increase is this sometimes intellectual confusion between two collective identities, which are the most important in their life, and that's ethnic and religious identity.
Mr. Djukanovic, let me come to you here. I mean, how is politics using this human need for belonging that Mr. Abazovic just mentioned? And can we notice from these trends that we need to follow, I do agree with you, Mr. Abazovic, in the future, can these trends impact the political atmosphere in the region as well in a more positive way?
When we are talking about the politics and religion and their relationship, I can say that in Montenegro this actually relationship is very strong, because the religion organizations and organized religion is very actually involved in what we have in a political atmosphere and political life. And I think that politicians actually very use this need of especially young people for belonging, because young people actually in the religion try to find some kind of belonging to some group of support of something that is more broader than it is everyday groups they are belonging to, and some kind of comfort and things like that. And politicians used this kind of necessity to manipulate with this actually sentiment of young people, and to actually attract them to as supporters of their political ideas and political programs.
Mr. Abazovic, let me leave you to conclude this topic. These trends that we started with this discussion among Generation Z and Generation X, can they positively impact the atmosphere, the political atmosphere in the Balkans, and the lack of dialogue that we are witnessing at the moment when it comes to older generations?
Well, for sure. I mean, we are not a futurologist in that sense, but one thing is for sure: whoever neglects the role of religion over the politics is wrong. However, religion, same as the politics, is too important to be left for only politicians or clerics to take care about that. One thing is for sure, as I mentioned, if we are not able to distinct political identities and religious identities, religious as universal, those who are belonging to them, and the political who are very diverse and often based on their political appeals are actually targeting the very same groups, but of course they have a different appeals, and it's not nothing unusual that let's say members of the or adherents of the very same religions have a very diverse political opinions and their own political stance. In that respect, I would say more of these distinctions, what comes as a priority to what situation, will certainly help situations to be more relaxed. But please keep in mind that unfortunately, as long as we are counting on religion to be a hard political fact, which is wrong, certainly then in that sense, it is just a cheap misuse or cheap manipulation with a religion in the public discourse. Religion can be a very useful tool, for example, when we speak about social justice issues, when we speak about marginalized group, when we speak about welfare, when we speak about charity, when we speak about a number of different things. However, just to reduce politics, to reduce religion to be a mere reference for collective identity is so far bring us a more problem and being a more part of the problem than part of the solution.
Thank you both for being our guest on this, I must say, quite complex topic for us here on Across the Balkans. Hope to have you again on the show soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for watching this episode of Across the Balkans. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.